Hello and welcome back to the 2018 Las Vegas Challenge. We've got the Round 1 feature group, Back 9, coming at you from the Disc Golf Values course. BigSexy commentary here and excited to be here again, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
Yeah, this is, we got to see a little bit of the showcase. Ricky with 2 eagles in the front 9. Still only 3 under with 2 eagles.
Yeah.
And speaking of Eagle had a great front 9. He had an eagle himself and shot 4 under, made some really nice putts in the wind, threw some great drives. You had a little bit of those struggles yourself, but you were also playing for the crowd.
Yep. Yeah, I had some out of bounds issues out there, but I'm looking to clean it up. Hole 10 is a par 3 that's been lengthened this year, and I really don't understand why. It was already so treacherous going right over the sand trap. Now it's 381 feet into the strongest headwind many of us have seen in a long time. So I don't imagine anyone to this hole in the afternoon.
Yeah, this is a very, very, very difficult hole. And Eagle is playing the safe play here to bail out to the right side.
But is it a little too safe?
Yeah, I think it might be. I mean, that leaves a very precarious approach shot to a tight green.
Simon going super low, really well played. Just needs to slow down before the sand, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's ideal right there. I mean, you'd like to be maybe a little bit further. You don't want to leave yourself that much headwind. Yeah. Even a putter approach, you can get slammed down into the sand trap.
I'm going forehand here, really flipped up, just perfect. Skipping up right there next to Simon.
That's a good play there. Yeah, I was thinking, what would this hole be like if the basket were on the front side of the sand trap?
Yeah, could be interesting.
This is just so hard to attack. I mean,
and Ricky flips over. I don't think he wanted that necessarily.
Yeah, he's out there with the eagle. They're gonna have the backside so they can maybe skip up the hill on the right side, and it looks like that's what we're gonna see here from Eagle.
He's going pretty wide.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be tough to even run that putt, to be honest.
Yeah, and that was super safe. And Ricky has gone a lot more aggressive there, and he's within maybe 20, 25 feet.
Simon and I had a little moment trying to decide who had to be the wind dummy here. I said I'd do it for him. Don't worry, Simon, I will show you.
That's textbook. I mean, never really lifted or dropped at all. And Simon saw that and said, well, I can do that too.
We both discussed afterwards that because the only miss you really can't afford is the sand, that we both basically, into that headwind, we both tried to just make it.
Okay, so did we miss Eagle's
layup?
Okay. And say Ricky just stepped up when there was no wind and just decided to throw.
Yeah, Eagle has already laid up. He's going to concede a bogey here because he had about a 30-footer putting straight at the sand.
We don't need to show that shot here on Jomez.
No, it's not. It's nothing we're going to SloMez, that's for sure. Hole 11, par 4, super treacherous at 500 feet. But the real issue here is all the fence on the left is OB, and as you can see here coming up, the reeds on the right are OB and the path long. You can see the rope there. So the green is really, really tight as you get up here to the basket.
Yeah, this hole is par 3 in years previous, and they have lengthened it a bit. One of the things we have to give a shout out to the Las Vegas Disc Golf Club for is putting in some excellent tee pads.
Yeah.
It's something that was really an issue in the past. Had natural tees that were slick and had pebbles on them. They went in and they put in some permanent tees that are beautiful and have incredible grip. So hats off to them.
Yeah, getting better each year. And then again, this X-Cal really just flipped up perfect for me.
Yeah, that's a really nice placement shot there. That'll give you, a couple options. You can go hyzer sidearm if you want to play against the crosswind, or you can play the hyzer with something really overstable.
This needs to get down. There is OB over there on the left.
And Ricky has found it.
He's out. It was so windy right here. I mean, the upshot, the drive is tough, but the upshot is
right. I mean, you have a tight green. I mean, and there's all the airspace is consumed with limbs and bushes, and so you have to find a way to get in. And it looks like Eagle is going with that super overstable. And is that another grenade?
Yeah, Grenade City.
He's going Texas.
The king. He's the king.
How can you possibly do that?
This shot was like a 10 out of 10 difficulty, I felt like. Trying to throw the Firebird that soft and slow it down, and it worked like a dream.
Oh my gosh. What an incredible approaches in this green here. And this is the scariest play. You have to somehow avoid the fence, and he has, but
the worst lie.
Not really. rewarding him for his risky efforts there. And
fantastic shot from Simon. We've got 3 players parked for the birdie. Ricky, look how hard he throws this.
Oh, wow.
It felt like he threw it 200-foot power.
But
he was able to stretch out there and get his putt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that he definitely factored in the fact that there was a really bushy tree right there.
For sure.
But anything could have happened. I mean, it could have got another lie like he just had.
I know, it was scary.
And look, I mean, Eagle is parked. He is 8 feet away.
And still got to step off it.
Yeah,
and look at his gator blow up against. And then he came over to me after this. He's like, I don't even think I need P2s today. I just got my gator because it's that windy.
Yeah,
just a glow gator for your putter.
It's fun in a way.
Fun. If we didn't have to keep score, it'd be fun.
Yeah, if this was just a casual round, it'd be like, wow, these are crazy things that are happening right now. But in a tournament round, you're like, okay, this is really annoying.
Yeah. If it was just like a bunch of fun and then we could all go get some hot chocolates together.
Yeah, I love hot chocolate.
That'd be just fine. All right, hole 12, par 3, 375, ripping tailwind. So this is we're all kind of going to flippy mid-ranges here and just hoping to get a slide to the basket because it's just gonna you barely throw it and it just goes.
Yeah, as soon as that just like you've seen on the other holes, the tailwind, as soon as it gets underneath the disc, if it lifts up at all, it's gonna give it another 40 to 50 feet of push. That one just maybe caught the edge of the cart path and didn't allow it to get as far as it probably wanted to go.
I'm going with a DX Rock here. It was perfect.
Wow, look at that. Park job.
Eagle kind of following my line, just maybe barely too high, and he caught the limb, dropped him probably 40 feet.
He's talking about not needing P2s. I think he could probably throw a P2 on this hole with this tailwind.
He certainly could have. Ricky actually got a little turnover on that.
That's so hard to do. Wow, absolutely pins it. Throwing a turnover with a mid-range with that much tailwind is such a tricky thing to do, and just showcasing his abilities there.
There's another illustration just how windy it is. Simon is not even interested in basically a wide open 40-footer, just gonna chip up.
I'm honestly impressed with Eagle's miss there. I mean, that is to have that difficult of a tailwind putt. You know, if you don't draw metal, you're leaving yourself with no better than 25-foot headwind.
Yeah, horrible headwind.
And I mean, to be able to have the confidence to run that's impressive.
Yeah. So 2 birdies really well earned from Rick and myself. We were super happy about that.
Yeah. Any birdie at this time is awesome.
And then hole 13, par 3, 249. You're going over these sand traps, which play hazard. You've also got the out-of-bounds green, out-of-bounds cart path. That little creek, however, is casual.
I think that's the play, is to try to get something. I think we'll probably see a couple forehands here to try to play against the hyzer against the wind.
Yeah, I tried to throw a forehand into the creek. That's what I said to my caddy before we threw it, and there it is, forehand in the creek.
Right.
Perfect.
And now you get to either get your feet wet or go across the creek and give yourself a little bit more distance, but that's really the play on this hole.
Ricky went hyzer here, but look how much he hung it out. He is flirting with OB on the green, but it's safe.
Wow.
Simon with the driver, hyzer. Just across the creek.
Okay. And Eagle probably trying to match the shot that you threw.
Yeah, he went with kind of a different line, but
going for the skip shot across.
And
oh my gosh. Wow, and checks up next to the basket.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this was pretty exciting. At first I thought, oh, this is bad, but then it skipped so big. It's
and
PD2,
look at that,
I think.
Right there.
Must have been just inches from getting some metal.
I mean, the way that thing dives in at the end is so exciting. That must have been within 2 inches.
And look at Rick. Almost gets that wind drop and just nails it. Simon with a really committed putt.
Yeah, making that look really easy. And it is anything but.
To throw with big power, you got to throw smooth. I see too many beginners that throw all tensed up. For more tips like this, check out our 2018 Disc Golf Guide.
And it looks like you went on the short side and tapped that in for a birdie. 3 birdies, and Ricky with a really great effort, but ends up with a par.
Yep. And here we are, hole 14 is a par 3, 471 feet over the out-of-bounds green, and you've got cart paths all around as well. The green is super protected this year. It's back behind these dangling branches. I want to say willow, but I'm sure we'll get corrected.
Yeah, it's a branches.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Here I am with a destroyer.
And again, we have a strong tailwind on this one, so we're just throwing this up in the air. It looks like...
It looked so good, but then it got caught up.
And you got hung up in the dangling branches.
Yeah, it looked like it was ace run, like it looked like it was coming in right there, but you never know. The skip could have taken me all the way out of bounds too. So
out of bounds comes in play really quick on this hole. If you get something low and skips, like you've seen a million times already in this round, it's just going to keep skipping. And
this is actually so wide that it stayed out of bounds. He threw it so wide that it never came back.
Yeah, the curb there on either side of the path didn't allow him to come back inbounds, which it looks like it was trying to do.
Yep. And then this is the opposite problem. Eagle with a huge hyzer, but it doesn't hit a thing. And he actually shoots out of bounds on the other side.
You can just barely see a little bit of the dirt kick up there on the catch cam.
Yeah.
Looks like Ricky might be going with a fairway driver here. Something flippy to ride the wind. That's such an interesting flight.
It was not a good line. But it caught.
Oh, look at that.
It's way short, but it's not out of bounds. And he's got himself a decent line.
Wow, look at that. I mean, that's just a huge hole there for him to be able to jump putt. And Simon with his third shot catches oh, wow, gets over the hillside.
Eagle to save par. Looks like he might have an opportunity. Too windy. I did not have an opportunity here. I kind of tried to kneel down, but it was not possible. The branches were just all in the way, so I just laid out.
Yeah, and a 3 here is fine. I mean, I feel like this is a really nice hole to get when it's calm. And tailwind helps you get the distance right, but I mean, there's just so many obstacles on the green, and the OB just comes in play. Left side, right side, as you saw there. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
So 3, not a bad score. 4, really not that bad of a score either.
Yep, we got 2 of each. Hole 15, par 3, 345. On any other day would be a pretty simple hyzer. Into this wind, it becomes a totally different animal. You got OB on the left side with the path. Really not a lot of other features to the hole. We're going to all be throwing distance drivers, just trying to get the disc to move left into a raging headwind. I had to step off this drive, actually, because it was just like a 50-mile-an-hour gust.
And you just can't quite throw it as wide as you might like to be able to get that really wide skip into the green.
Yeah.
Those trees there really kind of block you off. So if you do want to throw that low skip shot, you have to throw something overstable low, and it has to be kind of anhyzer out of your hand to be able to keep it as wide. Kind of like this.
But it just getting flipped.
But something a little bit more overstable.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they make anything more overstable than that.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's throwing there.
I also don't know. Simon going power hyzer, but this is also straightening up. Just staying out right.
Yeah.
The wind just blow it backwards.
That's just so crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's just not what you want to play in.
No. And then Eagle here, super overstable disc. It's coming in and actually skipping past my disc, but there it goes.
No, stop it. Just please stop it.
It's just crazy.
Man.
As soon as it takes that skip and the wind gets under it,
forget about it. Yeah, I mean, you can still play under the wind with that hillside protecting the wind. If you play something low, you can slide something up.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be that difficult. But I mean, for the birdie purposes, yeah, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
Yeah.
Or it adds wind to the sails. I don't know.
Yeah, fills your wind with sails.
Yeah.
Fills your
sails with wind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, got that backwards. I was trying to make this. I didn't.
No.
But all I could do really was just try to put maximum spin. You can't even putt it hard because there's out of bounds behind it. I just tried to get it to float perfect, and it would have been a miracle.
Yeah, it would have been really cool to see that go in. But it didn't. So now we're just talking about something that didn't happen.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
Simon for the par. So kind of a likely score, I would think. I bet a lot of groups got through here late in the day with just a bunch of threes. Some people, I'm getting a signal from my partner here that some people may have taken fives.
Maybe.
Hole 16 is a par 3, 342 feet straight ahead on a mound. This one had a super strong tailwind. So again, we were all thinking kind of just like a mid-range play. I was thinking just throw it really hard and hopefully slide up the hill, because you just can't putt from 25 feet. You have to be so close on this rise.
And this hillside gives you a little bit of a backstop, so you can kind of just jam something into it, and it should slow it down and slide up. That didn't slide as much. You didn't quite get on the hillside. You hit the bottom of it.
Throw it harder, yeah.
Anyone else getting jealous of these these cams that are just showing like this calm, beautiful course?
I know, the drone just has it so good.
It's just like looking at these shots, I'm like, man, that'd be nice to see that flag stick not just ripping off.
Yeah. Now, I saw some highlights from the FPO on Instagram, and when I saw them making putts and saw the flag stick, not to say that they aren't playing a super hard course and doing great, but when I saw the flag not moving that much, it just made me laugh.
Yeah, it's
just because I had just been struggling so hard just to see a flag stick not moving, and it being the same day.
Right.
It was just so crazy, the difference in conditions as the day went on.
Yeah, and two completely different courses, even though we both played disc golf values from the same tees.
Yeah, this I couldn't even entertain the idea. I think Ricky has already laid up. He just does it quick. So Ricky's laid up, I'm laying up. Eagle's laying up after just barely staying in bounds. And Simon, can he do it?
I mean, that's danger. Danger, Simon.
Needs to sit, yeah.
Oh, good sit.
I saw Bobby Music hit the basket and roll OB just a few minutes earlier before this. So it's looking like another par frame for the group.
Ricky upside down there. Interesting strategy. It doesn't want to fly out. And a lot of times when you putt in normal way with the wind blowing like that, just crazy things happen. So if you haven't practiced that before, it might be something to consider.
Sure. Hole 17, par 3, 345. There's really not a lot in the way of lines to the basket here. And then you've got an OB green behind and an OB cart path on the left. There's a high forehand play. There is a straight up the middle backhand play, but it's pretty well guarded. I'm going to go with the high forehand. Trying to get over there to the pin. Almost hit the sun.
Wow, that was pretty close to the sun.
Yeah. But it stayed kind of low on the hill. Ricky is going with a similar play. Check out the action on this.
Sit. Okay, that is inbounds.
It is. So he got saved by that thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely heading OB, though. And this is one of the new holes at Vegas this year. There's a lot of repeat holes from the 2 years prior.
Yeah.
But this one was one of the new inventions of the new course design. And does that slide onto the green?
Yes, by inches. Simon is out of bounds on the golf green.
That's unfortunate.
Eagle went with way too much hyzer here. Trying the forehand, but that's not going to be able to make it to the green. Eagle laying up.
And hard to tell exactly. Okay, there it is.
Simon laying up. Ricky actually played a provisional because we weren't really sure about the OB situation.
We had someone in our group at the same place.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what it was, but in most situations, that curb line of the sidewalk just continues on, and anything that's inside of it is not considered OB.
Yeah, so Ricky laid up twice from over there. But we got confirmation pretty quickly that he was not OB, so he'll just be playing out one putt.
And that's a smart thing to do. You always want to play the provisional. If you're not sure about that, it'll cost you if you don't do it more times than not. So.
Yep. All right, one hole to go. Hole 18, uphill, 405, par 3 into a pretty strong wind. Pretty difficult conditions to reach this basket.
Yeah, this is, I would say, the uphill factor in this hole makes it probably play in the calm, probably about 430, 440. But with this headwind, I mean, I'm actually really interested to see Simon. Well, actually, the whole group.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see if anyone is going to attack it, and if so, how close can you possibly get in these conditions?
My shot was about the top end of what my body is capable of. Like I threw it fantastic. I felt to about 30 feet.
Wow, that's okay. So there, it is approachable. You can get the distance. Not to say that you don't have a lot of power, but Simon and Eagle have a little bit more.
Yeah, they do. And Rick came up a little shorter than me. He just got it turned over a little bit. Simon and Eagle have the advantage of their power in this case is that they can throw a super overstable disc and still reach it. They don't have to play with turnover, because once you throw turnover, you can't really get left. Eagle can go super overstable, and he's still got the energy to skip, and he's just parked.
Come on. Get out of here with that.
So a beautiful shot from Eagle.
Wow.
And Simon liked that line, so he's going to do a similar thing. A beautiful shot, just driven low through the wind, skipping once, skipping twice.
Jesus, come on, man. That's insane.
They were right there. Ricky.
Oh, I thought that was going in too. I was like, well, everyone's just showcasing what they're good at. Ricky's making a 1,000,000-foot putt, and Simon and Eagle are throwing 500-foot headwinds.
Yeah.
And you're chaining out. Everyone's just doing what they're good at.
Yeah, doing our signature moves. I nearly had it. These guys just dropping in some twos. Beautifully done. And Eagle takes the lead on the card at -5, which is a really impressive number.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, like, for those conditions, you saw the elements that this card was playing through. I mean, Eagle played phenomenal.
Yeah.
5 down.
Yes.
Best round of the day, 10 under.
Yeah.
I mean,
from people that teed at 8 a.m.
Right, and so it's just, they played incredible rounds.
Yep.
In the column, a 10 under is a great round.
Yep.
In these conditions that the later cards are teeing off in, 5 under was phenomenal as well.
I was super happy there with the 25 on the back. I kind of collected myself a little bit. The other guys coming in at 27 for the Crush Boys and a 28 for Ricky. Here's our leaderboard. Jesse Adams -10, I think a 1070 something rated round.
Yeah.
Joel Freeman -9. You see Eagle there, tied for 6th place.
And Nico had to play in the same conditions. For him to come in at 7 under is just a phenomenal round. So we're going to see some new names on round 2 league card action at the 2018 Las Vegas Challenge.
Thanks, and we will see you tomorrow.